Have you ever just stopped and wondered how modern websites feel so alive? Content just appears, buttons react instantly, things change right in front of you, and a lot of the time, there's no loading screen. It honestly feels like magic. But it's not magic. It's actually a really brilliant conversation happening behind the scenes.
I mean, think about it. It's something we see literally every single day. You tap like on a photo and that little heart instantly fills in. You're scrolling your feed and new posts just kind of materialize at the bottom. How does the page pull that off without doing a full, clunky refresh? Well, that seamless experience is exactly what we're going to break down.
The secret to all this magic really comes down to two distinct languages that are constantly working together to power the web. The best way to think of them is like a team, a dynamic duo, with very different but totally essential jobs. One is the tireless messenger, and the other is the strategic brain.
And here's that partnership in a nutshell. On one side, you've got the messenger, which we call HTTP. Its entire job is to go out into the world and ask for information. On the other side, you've got the brain, and that's JavaScript. Its job is to take whatever information the messenger brings back and decide what to do with it right there on the page you're looking at.
Okay, so first, let's get to know our messenger, HTTP. Now, it stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, but what you really need to remember is that it speaks the language of requests. It's how your browser asks a server for literally everything it needs to show you a web page.
So when your browser makes one of these requests, it doesn't just vaguely shout, "Hey, server, give me stuff." No, it's much more precise. It uses a specific verb, what we call an HTTP method, to state exactly what it wants to do. You can think of them as simple commands. Give me this, take this, or hey, get rid of that.
And what's great is just how simple these core actions really are. Get is for reading data, like loading an article. Post is for creating something totally new, like when you publish a comment. Put is for updating something that's already there. And delete, well, that one's pretty self-explanatory. These four verbs power the vast majority of everything we do online.
Let's just zoom in on the two most common ones for a second. A GET request is basically like asking a librarian for a book. You're just reading something that already exists. It's considered safe because it doesn't change anything on the server. A POST request, on the other hand, is like handing in a completed application form. You are sending new information that is definitely going to change things on the server's end.
Now, some of these methods have this really cool property called idempotency. It sounds like a super complex word, but the idea is actually very simple. Doing it more than once doesn't change the final outcome. Take deleting a file. The first time you send that delete request, poof, the file's gone. If you accidentally send that same request again, the result is exactly the same. The file is still gone. This makes systems way more reliable and predictable.
All right, so that's the messenger. Now let's meet the brain. If HTTP is the one bringing the mail, JavaScript is the one that opens it up, reads it, and decides what to do.
And this really is the key idea. JavaScript is what turns a static, boring document into a living, breathing, interactive experience. It's always listening for your actions, it thinks, and it changes what you see on the page in real time. It is the engine of all that interactivity. And this quote just sums it up perfectly. JavaScript isn't just for some cute little animations anymore. It is an absolutely essential, foundational piece of almost every single modern web app you use today.
So how does it actually create that interaction? Well, it's this simple, but incredibly powerful three-step loop. First, a user event happens. You click a button, you hover over an image, you type something in a box. JavaScript is always listening. Second, that event triggers a specific piece of code called a function. And finally, that function changes the content on the page. Text, colors, images, you name it, all without that dreaded full-page reload.
And just like any language, JavaScript has its own grammar. It has rules for how to store and manage information. For example, it knows how to keep track of a score in a game that's constantly changing versus, say, a birth date that should always stay the same. This structure is what lets it handle complex information and make decisions on the fly.
So, we have our messenger, HTTP, and we have our brain, JavaScript. Now for the best part, seeing how they actually work together. Because the real magic happens when the brain tells the messenger exactly what to do.
Okay, let's go back to our like button example. Step 1, you click. That's a user event that the JavaScript brain hears. Step 2, instantly the brain tells the HTTP messenger, go, send a post request to the server and tell it to record this like. Step 3, the server gets the message, processes it, and sends a quick confirmation back. And step 4, as soon as that messenger returns with the good news, JavaScript grabs that confirmation and updates the button on your screen, turning that heart red. All of this happens in a fraction of a second with 0 page reload.
But wait a second, how does the JavaScript brain wait for the HTTP messenger to come back without freezing up the entire page? Well, it uses a clever little thing called a promise. A promise is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a placeholder for a result that isn't ready yet. JavaScript sends the messenger on its way and holds onto this promise for the response. This is what allows the rest of the page to stay totally interactive while it waits for that new data to arrive.
And it's so important to understand that this elegant dance between HTTP and JavaScript isn't just some neat trick for social media. It is the fundamental architecture that makes almost every single modern web application possible.
So to wrap it all up, the dynamic web we know and love is built on this powerful partnership. You've got HTTP, the messenger, handling all the requests and communication with the outside world. And you've got JavaScript, the brain, handling all the actions and interactivity right there on the page. Their true power is only ever unlocked when they work together.
Seriously, every time you collaborate on a document, check your email, or stream a movie, you are seeing this incredible partnership in action. It is the engine of the interactive internet. Which really makes you wonder what other incredible experiences are going to be built with this powerful duo next.